So I'm disappointed. What's up guys, it's Guy Nintendo back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Direct that happened yesterday. So basically we're going to go over my thoughts on the specific things that I either was disappointed about or particularly excited for. So let's get right into it. So first up, I want to talk about Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Stories, plus the Bowser Jr. thing, I think it was. Honestly, that doesn't excite me too much. First of all, I understand the Superstar Saga one because that's a Game Boy Advance game. So it's not even playable on the DS. Or, well, it's playable on the original DS, but not their current DS line. But Bowser's Inside Story is a regular DS title, meaning it's playable already on the 3DS. Yes, there's enhancements, but at this point, why not port it to the Switch on a system it's not even playable on? Just to put it out there. Honestly, the extra stuff might be fun to some people. Kind of just seems like a way to try to get people to spend $40 to them on it, because Bowser's Inside Story is going for around $30 right now, which they're making no profit on. So yeah, I understand the original one, but I don't think they needed to release that one specifically as a remake on the 3DS. Make it for the Switch, I wouldn't mind. Make it for the 3DS, that's a little bit annoying because it's playable on the 3DS already. So, second point I want to talk about is the Luigi's Mansion remake. Again, would have been a lot better on the Switch. I know a lot of people think it's cool that you're going to be able to play the first and second one on the same console. But at this point, they're giving a lot of heavy hitters that would be making a lot of money on the Switch to the 3DS, a system that, yes, I want to buy games for the 3DS, but I'm looking more at the Switch, and honestly, I'm collecting a lot of retro right now. I'm looking more at the Switch right now anyway, because it's their new console. I'm trying to get some more games for that. I already have a lot of games for the 3DS, and I'm just trying to build a collection for that. Plus, imagine the graphics, because I think the GameCube had smoother looking graphics than the 3DS. I'm not saying better, but it's smoother because it's playable on regular TVs and it's not a handheld. So imagine that, like the Mario Odyssey style maybe not style, Mario Odyssey quality graphics with Luigi's Mansion. That would be great, honestly. So I might pick it up, but if it's on Switch, it'd be a definite pickup for me. But I am glad that they're still supporting the 3DS. I just wish that those two that are bigger titles would be put on the Switch rather than the 3DS, and then leave the stuff for the 3DS like the other few games that they announced, which I kind of spaced. Next thing I want to talk about is the Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. I wish they would just call it 2. Maybe make it all new courses. I know they're adding new courses, which is making it worth more than like one of the deluxes. I don't know about the Pokken Tournament. I haven't really done research on that. But like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe added 2 Inklings into it other than the DLC, so that was not as cool to me. But like, I'm glad that they're adding new levels to the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I just wish that if they could have done that, maybe waited a little bit longer, made enough new levels to be a whole new game and just call it 2. I think that that's a good game, like, to have on both systems, because it would be great for the 3DS because it's very runnable on the 3DS, and it's great for the Switch. That's a new console. A lot of people are really into the Switch right now. That even might be a system seller because it was for the Wii for a few people. So I think that's a good idea, and I'm glad that they're having Mario Odyssey themed levels too, especially because he was in Mario Odyssey. Great game, by the way. Next up, I want to talk about the Splatoon 2 expansion. Personally, I don't know if I'm going to be buying that. I haven't played enough time into the original Splatoon 2. It doesn't really seem that worth it to me. I don't really know why they would do it, but I guess really big Splatoon fans would get it. But yeah. So those are kind of the things that I was more disappointed in this Direct. Some of the stuff coming, I didn't really care for, but I can see why a lot of people would like, so I get that. The next thing I want to talk about is 2 ports coming to the Switch, which I'm super excited for. The Crash Insane Trilogy. Like, I've never played a Crash game, but I've always wanted to. But it's super like they're pretty expensive for PS1 games, and I don't know why I've been holding off getting it for the PS4, and maybe it's just because I had a feeling. But I'm super happy about these coming to the Switch. It's crazy. Like, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be a nice branch out for Crash coming to another console. So I think it was on the Game Boy Advance, but I'm saying like full-fledged Crash game. I'm excited for it. I am most definitely gonna pick it up. Maybe not day one, but once I save up for it. That is super cool, and I'm actually super excited for it. So next part I'm excited for is South Park: The Fractured Butthole. That game, I've played the Stick of Truth, not all the way through, I need to, but I love the Stick of Truth. But I'm more of a superhero fan than like a Wizards fan, so I think I'm gonna get more into that game. And I feel like that it would be great if they did what they did for every other console and released it with the download to the Stick of Truth. That would be awesome, because those games are gonna be great on the Switch to take on the go, to play docked. Either way, those games are gonna be really good. I've heard the Fractured Butthole is actually a really good game, and I know the Stick of Truth is firsthand. If any of you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. I actually got the collector's edition with like a huge carbon figure and a map for $40 versus spending $30 on just the game, so it's a pretty good sale. And of course, the last thing I wanted to talk about, which you probably all saw it coming, Okami HD, duh. Okami HD. I'm just playing this out. I'll talk about Okami HD. I never played the original, but I might look into it, or I might look into the price on Wii U, drop and get it on. On Wii and drop and get it on Wii. So, for real last, let's talk about Smash, Super Smash Bros. I think it's a completely new game. I wasn't completely convinced that it was until I watched C&D's most recent video, where him, Triforce, Gabe, Jacob, and a few other people were like zooming in and seeing people. The Mario didn't have an M on the hat, even though Gabe swears by it, but I wasn't sure about that. But then the Link looks like the Breath of the Wild one, so unless they just updated the skin. And then the Inklings, that was actually a really cool entrance. Let's talk about that. So I was like, oh, what is it gonna be? Splatoon Deluxe, even though we already have basically Splatoon Deluxe and Splatoon 2. And that totally surprised me. That was crazy. It was like, I'm not the biggest Super Smash Bros. Fan. That's not my favorite Nintendo franchise like it is for a lot of people. But definitely something that excites me, because I actually only have one Super Smash Bros. Game, and that's the 3DS one. So I've been looking into the other ones, and of course, you know, Melee is gonna run about $50. Of course, the original one's around $40. Brawl, I haven't really looked into that much, and for Wii U, still around $50. So I'm hoping with this one, the Wii U one will drop, and then maybe I'll be able to pick up the other ones in the future. But what the characters I want to see on this one, I want to see the Ice Climbers back. I really liked the Ice Climbers when I would play with my cousins on their Wii and GameCube. I think that it'd be cool, like how instead of just having Villager, maybe I think it'd be cool to have instead of just having Villager, having other Animal Crossing people thrown into it, like Isabelle, which I'm not a huge Isabelle fan, but Isabelle, other people from the Animal Crossing world, maybe some Monster Hunter characters, maybe since the Rabbids are on the Switch, maybe throw in the Rabbids. I mean, it's kind of a stretch, but why not? And yeah. So to wrap up this video, overall, I was a little disappointed in the Direct, but it was not a complete bust. It still had a lot of stuff going for it. So this video is going to be very short edited. It's going to be basically one cut, but there's gonna be some things taken out, like pauses, stuff like that, music thrown in the background. And so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. We are getting pretty far away from 200, but like, who cares about sub count? As long as we're a good family, you know. If we could try to get 10 likes on the video, that'd be great. It's Guy Nintendo, and it's my dog. Hold on, let me show my dog. It's my dog.